The world watches with bated breath. Tensions are high, global powers maneuver for advantage, the threat of conflict hangs heavy in the air. The world has seen this before. The shadow of war looms large. A misstep, a miscalculation could tip the balance. The consequences would be devastating. The world holds its breath. Will diplomacy prevail, or will history repeat itself? The stakes have never been higher. The future of humanity hangs in the balance. In the 21st century, warfare has taken on a new form. Gone are the days of traditional battlefields. Today's battleground is digital. Cyber warfare is the new frontier. It is a silent, invisible war, but its effects are very real. Cyber attacks can cripple infrastructure, they can disrupt economies, they can sow chaos and confusion, and they can be launched with impunity. Attribution is difficult. The line between peace and war is blurred. This is the new reality of global conflict. Artificial intelligence is transforming warfare. AI-powered weapon systems are becoming increasingly sophisticated. They can process vast amounts of data. They can identify targets with pinpoint accuracy. And they can make decisions at lightning speed. The use of AI in warfare raises profound ethical questions. Can machines be trusted to make life or death decisions? What are the implications for civilian casualties? These are questions that must be addressed. The future of warfare is here, and it is powered by AI. The geopolitical landscape is in constant flux. Old alliances are crumbling. New ones are being forged. The balance of power is shifting. The rise of new powers is challenging the old order. Competition for resources is intensifying. The struggle for global dominance is playing out on the world stage. The rules of the game are changing, the future is uncertain, but one thing is clear, the world is becoming increasingly multipolar, and this creates new challenges for maintaining peace and stability. Section 5. Flashpoint Asia, Territorial Disputes and Power Struggles. In this chapter, we delve into the intricate web of territorial disputes and power struggles that define the geopolitical landscape of Asia. Asia is a region on edge. Territorial disputes simmer beneath the surface, creating a volatile environment. These disputes are not just about land, they are about national pride, historical grievances, and strategic advantages. Nationalism is on the rise. Countries are increasingly asserting their claims, driven by a sense of historical entitlement and a desire to project power. This surge in nationalism often leads to heightened tensions and a reluctance to compromise. Military buildups are fueling tensions. Nations are investing heavily in their armed forces, modernizing their equipment, and increasing their military presence in disputed areas. This arms race creates a precarious balance of power, where any miscalculation could lead to conflict. The South China Sea is a potential flashpoint. This strategic waterway is claimed by multiple countries, each with overlapping territorial claims. The presence of valuable resources and critical shipping lanes makes this region a hotbed of tension. So too is the Korean Peninsula. The long-standing conflict between North and South Korea, coupled with the North's nuclear ambitions, keeps this region on a constant state of alert. The military buildup on both sides of the demilitarized zone adds to the volatility. The Taiwan Strait is another area of concern. The delicate status of Taiwan, with its ambiguous international recognition and China's claims over the island, creates a complex and potentially explosive situation. Any move towards independence by Taiwan could trigger a severe response from China. The Asia-Pacific region is home to some of the world's most powerful militaries. Countries like China, Japan, India, and South Korea have significant military capabilities, making any conflict in this region potentially devastating. A conflict in this region would have global ramifications. The interconnectedness of the global economy means that any disruption in Asia could have far-reaching consequences affecting trade, security, and international relations. The world watches nervously, hoping that cooler heads will prevail. International organizations and diplomatic efforts are constantly at work to mediate disputes and prevent escalation. The stakes are high, and the need for peaceful resolution is paramount. Section 6. The European Powder Keg, a continent divided. The European continent, once a symbol of unity and cooperation, now finds itself fractured and tense. The divisions run deep, affecting not just political landscapes but also the lives of millions. Europe is once again a continent divided. The once seamless borders now marked by checkpoints and barriers, separating communities that once thrived together. The sense of unity that the European Union once promised seems like a distant memory. The war in Ukraine has shattered the peace. Cities lie in ruins, families are torn apart, and the echoes of conflict reverberate across the continent. The humanitarian crisis is profound, with millions displaced and in need of aid. NATO and Russia are locked in a dangerous standoff. The military presence on both sides of the border is a constant reminder of the fragile peace. The tension is palpable, with each side wary of the other's next move. The risk of miscalculation is high. A single error, a misinterpreted action could ignite a conflict that would engulf the entire region. The stakes are incredibly high and the margin for error is razor thin. Cyber attacks and disinformation campaigns are already underway. These modern forms of warfare are designed to destabilize and create chaos, further deepening the divisions within Europe. The digital battlefield is as critical as the physical one. The threat of escalation is very real. Each day brings new provocations and responses, inching closer to a point of no return. The international community watches with bated breath, hoping for de-escalation but preparing for the worst. The ghosts of the past haunt Europe. The scars of previous conflicts are still visible, serving as a grim reminder of the cost of war. Monuments and memorials stand as silent witnesses to the tragedies that once unfolded. The memories of 2 world wars are still fresh. The lessons learned from these devastating conflicts should guide current leaders in their quest for peace. The sacrifices made by previous generations must not be in vain. The world cannot afford another conflict in Europe. The global repercussions would be catastrophic, affecting not just Europe, but the entire world. Diplomatic efforts must be redoubled to find a peaceful resolution. The stakes are too high. The economic, social, and political consequences of a new conflict would be devastating. Stability in Europe is crucial for global peace and prosperity. Peace and stability must be maintained. It is imperative that all parties involved work tirelessly to ensure that Europe remains a continent of peace, where future generations can thrive without the shadow of war looming over them. Section 7. The Global Arms Race, a Dangerous Escalation. In recent years, the world has witnessed a significant and alarming increase in military activities and expenditures. This chapter delves into the complexities and dangers of this escalating arms race. The world is in the midst of a new arms race. Military spending is soaring to unprecedented levels, with nations vying to outdo each other in terms of technological advancements and firepower. This surge in spending is not just a matter of national pride, but a reflection of growing global tensions and insecurities. New and more deadly weapons are being developed at a rapid pace. Scientists and engineers are working tirelessly to create the next generation of armaments, from hypersonic missiles to autonomous drones. These advancements, while showcasing human ingenuity, also pose significant threats to global stability. The proliferation of nuclear weapons is a grave concern. As more countries acquire these devastating weapons, the potential for catastrophic consequences increases. The delicate balance of power maintained by nuclear deterrence is becoming more precarious with each passing day. The risk of accidental or unauthorized use is growing. With the increasing number of nuclear arsenals, the chances of a security breach or a miscalculation leading to a nuclear incident are higher than ever. The consequences of such an event would be unimaginable. The arms race is a dangerous spiral. It undermines global security and fosters an environment of mistrust and fear. Nations are caught in a cycle of escalation, where each new development by one country prompts a countermeasure by another, leading to an ever-increasing stockpile of weapons. It diverts resources from essential needs. The vast sums of money spent on military endeavors could be better utilized in addressing pressing global issues such as healthcare, education, and poverty alleviation. The opportunity cost of this arms race is immense, with human development and well-being taking a back seat. And it increases the risk of catastrophic conflict. The more weapons that are amassed, the higher the likelihood of their use, whether intentionally or accidentally. Training for conflict becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, as nations prepare for wars that they hope will never come. The world must find a better way. Diplomacy, dialogue, and disarmament are crucial in breaking this cycle of escalation. World leaders must come together to forge agreements that reduce the reliance on military might and promote peaceful coexistence. The future of humanity depends on our ability to navigate this dangerous escalation and find sustainable solutions for global security. War is always a tragedy. It is the ultimate failure of diplomacy, the ultimate failure of humanity. The human cost of war is immeasurable. Millions of lives lost, countless more shattered, families torn apart, communities destroyed. The scars of war run deep. They can last for generations. The physical and psychological wounds are difficult to heal. The economic and social costs are enormous. War is a lose-lose proposition for everyone involved. War is inherently unpredictable. The fog of war can lead to miscalculations and mistakes. Unintended consequences can spiral out of control. A small conflict can escalate into a larger one. The use of nuclear weapons could have catastrophic consequences. In the chaos of war, reason and restraint can easily be lost. The line between right and wrong can become blurred. The thirst for revenge can overwhelm the desire for peace. The world must guard against the dangers of escalation and unintended consequences. In a world on edge, diplomacy is more important than ever. Dialogue is essential to reducing tensions. Building trust is crucial to resolving conflicts peacefully. International cooperation is essential to addressing global challenges. Deterrence also plays a vital role. A strong defense can deter aggression, but it must be coupled with a willingness to engage in diplomacy. The goal is to prevent conflict from ever arising in the first place. War is not inevitable. It is a choice. The world can choose a different path. A path of peace. A path of cooperation. A path of shared prosperity. The future of humanity depends on it. The world must work together to create a more peaceful and just world. A world where differences are resolved through dialogue, not violence. A world where all people can live in dignity and security. The time for peace is now.